The mountains of Patagonia have definitely become some of the most iconic peaks on the planet. The popularity of the area has increased in the last 15 years, probably due to the growth of the local town El Chalten and the modern era of detailed weather forecasting. However, the changeable weather, strong winds and no helicopter rescue, Patagonia is still considered to have some of the most deadly mountains in the world.
Oh god, oh my god, hurry up! What a junk show. Julia Cassou, adventure photographer, in her element. It looks like she's done this hundreds of times before.
The routes in Patagonia have always caught my attention, but after 25 years of climbing, this was my first visit to the area. Plan was to team up with Sean Villanueva O'Driscoll.
Alright, boys and girls, we're going into the hills with Pete and Julia. There's Chalten in the background. We're leaving Chalten, we're going into the hills. Yeah.
Sean and I have known each other for a number of years, but never actually roped up for anything more than a few sport routes. However, we both do have the same appetite for cracks and adventure. I was of course happy to team up with Sean, as he has 15 years of previous experience in these mountains, many first ascents and also an incredible solo of the Moonwalk Traverse.
Learning to let go, lost some gear. My rope is core shot on day one. Ooh, look at this birthday cake that's waiting for me. Yum, 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 tasty stuff. I hope it's not bad weather coming, because I need one more day. Yeah!
So as soon as I arrived in El Chalten, I knew Sean and I were on the same wavelength. He just basically starts talking about first ascents of lines in the mountains with these grade predictions that would be some of the highest in the Fitz and Torre massif.
If my memory serves me right, the first crux pitch is the dihedral. So it's going to be like tricky Houdini climbing, yeah? Kind of like the changing corners. Oh, look.
Although I'd gone to Patagonia with an open mind, deep down doing a hard first ascent was the objective I was highly motivated for. However, the difficulties are always unknown, failure was expected, but if success did actually happen, it could produce one of those magical moments.
The plan is to try to free an aid route on El Mocho, a route called Approach Team Line. And since we're on the approach now, and since we're a team of 3, things are looking good so far.
And then we just spent about 30 minutes moving the tent from one spot to the next. However, we found a bomb-proof place.
Here, maybe you want to show the people.
So, fantastic system. We have what is known as a bow line going to a boulder, back to the other side of the tent, and then a self-pulley system. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You can't teach that stuff. That's all intuitive. Do you think the tent's going to fly away in the night?
Look back, it's going to be in it.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Last night was really fucking windy. Like really windy. Like the tent felt like the tent was gonna fly away. So we didn't get much sleep. It's a beautiful morning. We're sandwiched between Fitzroy and Cerro Torre. Stroll over to El Mocho, which is about just over there.
Alright, this is a rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the first pitch. Rock, paper, scissors! So I just climbed the first pitch, which was easier than it looks. And now we have Pete Whittaker himself in pitch 2. A thin seam with bad and a few protections.
So the top section of this pitch was definitely a little bit run out, and I was kind of thinking, you know, just take it steady and climb well. I could tell right off the bat that if you did make any mistakes, you know, it could turn from a nice pleasant day out to quite epic in the space of a single big fall.
There you go. Pete just climbed pitch 2 to below the roof. He said that was scary. Then there's a second long pitch and then a second roof. So it's looking good. Nice lead, Pete. Fucking hell. Very nice lead. Techiest too.
Okay,
Okay. You can straddle me.
Ah, the pleasures of big wall climbing. So the crux pitch is the third pitch, and it's very short. It just goes over this little roof.
Come on.
Ali.
Come on.
I did a pretty good on-site try on it, and then a hole broke off the crux, which made the crux even harder. Fuck! Hole broke! Oh no, that was
A1++ now. It's broken the crimp. Broken the crucial crimp.
You go up this crack a little bit, there's some flakes on the side.
Yeah, out there.
And then you have to like match this tiny side pull crimp. Huge move all the way to like a iron cross crimp, bump up to the sloper in the crack, and then you kind of get a jam and then you're in the crack again, and yeah, it's not easy.
Neither of us red pointed that pitch in a couple of tries, and we decided to carry on and check out the remaining 8 pitches of the route.
So the fourth pitch is a beautiful corner seam with very tricky protection. It's mostly pockets. The crux of the whole pitch is actually trying to clip the bolt, and then even when you clip that bolt afterwards, there's like a 10-meter run out on a slab.
From the belay, it was actually really difficult to tell what was going on up there. I hadn't quite realised the extent of the run out.
Like you're going for a 20-meter fall if you fall.
I grabbed the ball. Oh, that's so cool.
It was quite exciting, I have to say.
So it was my turn to check out the next pitch, and I must admit the crack looked pretty closed, and getting gear in for a free climbing on-site actually looked really hard.
What's going on, Pete?
So we're on pitch 5. So I've got the axe out.
Axe.
Look at all the white stuff.
I can see white stuff there on the summit of Cerro Torre.
Yeah. No, we're going on an aiding mission and we don't have a hammer. We've got an axe as a hammer, so...
Lovely, that was great, yeah. Let's see your head climbing skills, buddy.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Look at this janky setup. Oh my god.
Hello, this is Pete Whittaker. 8 climbing, extreme 8. Cerro Torre in the background. This is Patagonia. One of the most exciting moments was Pete 8 climbing up this thin seam on bird beaks that he couldn't hammer in properly because we only had an ice axe.
Yeah, it was a totally classic moment. A2 plus pitch with 1 ladder, 2 beaks. It was like proper rock climbers go aid climbing moment.
He ran out of bird beaks, he had to use the ice axe, and he was hooking on the ice axe. I was sure he was going to fall. I was just getting ready for the fall. I was convinced he was gonna fall.
Nice one.
That was sketchy, dude. Oh my god, that was fucking sketchy. Very nicely done. That was some skills. That was some sketchy shit.
One word about the last pitch.
Mixed. It's definitely mixed. Had to bring out some Scottish winter. Let's get the tools out. Yeah, we didn't bring enough aid gear. That's fine. We got through it.
So yeah, we managed to free some incredible pitches, but unfortunately there was 3 pitches that were pretty hard that we weren't able to free. Also, we kind of ran out of time. Give us a little debrief.
Halfway up or just under halfway.
Nice one, Pete.
First 5 pitches, we've done all the moves. You checked out the aid pitch, which I mixed my way through. And then we're back onto the bit where it's been free climbing before.
We decided that the goal was going to be just to go to the top. The whole of the upper section was just really good, like kind of burly crack climbing. Some nice off-widths and some gritty kitty litter climbing, just the way we like it. So we continued on to the summit, El Mocho. What's the story, Pete?
The story is we're at the top.
Look, the Cerro Torre is right there. Should we just keep going?
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got, I mean, it's pretty long, isn't it? I mean, there's some hard pitches at the bottom, and then it keeps coming. Like it doesn't get easy, really. We're back on the ground, on solid ground, maybe 20-minute walk from base camp.
We're alive.
We're still alive. Nice work.
As a first trip to the mountains, I was really pleased with our efforts as a team. Although we hadn't completed the objective of a hard free climb, the important thing was, you know, we'd all go up and down safely.
Nice one. Baptized in the Torre Lake. Fresh? Fresh. Oh, it's fresh. It's fresh.
So now it was really important to rest and stay fit in El Chalten.
El Chalten is a small village at the base of the mountains. Lots of climbers and trekkers, and like the next town is maybe 3 hours away, but Chalten kind of has everything. You have incredible bouldering, world-class bouldering, really quality lines and quality moves. When you're bouldering, it's easier to keep your spirits high and to stay psyched for the mountains. Like if there was nothing here, if there wasn't any climbing at all here, it would be more difficult. But the bouldering is great because it keeps you strong, keeps you with the you know, the little. And so when you go to the mountains, it's good where you need the keeps you on your toes for like. So the bouldering was good for that. Chalten is a pretty young village, young town. It's only like 30 years old or 40 years old. And so the first generation of climbers, they're being raised here on the boulders of El Chalten and the sport climbs, and then later they go into the mountains and doing some badass stuff. So the Odell brothers are two of the most famous ones. Tom is 16 and Pedro is 19. They put up their first, I think it's their first route maybe they put up. And this one was on Aguja Rafael Juarez, and they called it Yacaré. It's a type of crocodile that lives in northern Argentina. It's a really vicious, ferocious crocodile with big teeth, and it chews you up into pieces. And so it's a really good name for this climb because it has some scary pitches and it has a big off-width.
Yeah, so as soon as I heard it had a big off-width, obviously I was immediately psyched.
We're off into the mountains, only me and you. Nobody else is going. What do you think about that decision?
It feels kind of strange, eh?
Nobody else has left the hostel. Only us.
Yeah.
And they were taking pictures of us like it was our last one.
Yeah.
Confident?
And on that note, we left the hostel with just an 8-hour weather window to try and make a free ascent of Pedro and Tom's climb.
What can we do in 8 hours?
Well, we're going to have to climb very quick. You're going to have to get a serious shuffle on. Shuffle. So we're going to walk in the morning, 5:30. I think it's 10 pitches, but the first pitch is 200 meters. So we'll have to do some sort of like, probably some time climbing. Debrief. We've brought all the wrong gear for crossing the glacier.
The Odell brothers had said that it was going to be an easy glacier, but I think they underestimated our level of glacier experience travel, and so we had to like even pitch out some pitches on the glacier.
But we made it to the base. Yeah, it looks good. We're going up there somewhere.
I have some weird feeling that we're being sandbagged here by the youngsters.
And you know what 16 and 19-year-olds are like? They're sandbaggers. Total sandbaggers. We're gonna get shafted.
I think they're young rock stars, locals. They're like trying to teach the old guys a lesson, maybe.
Yeah, we could be in trouble. We could be in serious trouble. And then it gets steep, and we have some like 6Bs, and we have some 6C plus off-width territory. So this is where you come in, Sean.
What?
Some of them haven't been freed. So there's 2 pictures with A0 on.
We were very impressed with the lads, with the 2 boys, with the kind of climbing they managed to get, because there was a couple of pitches where it was just you're climbing through loose blocks, like balanced guillotine blocks, and so it's very sketchy. You need to be your mind must be empty, and you can't pull on the holes, you have to push on the holes. So yeah, it was impressive that they managed to get through that.
You've got the choss.
Choss pitch. 6B choss pitch next.
You love choss though.
Yeah.
So you're good. Questing into choss first. It's not the pitch of my dreams, that one.
No.
Probably not the pitch of your dreams either.
No.
It was a good lead. Well done.
I was starting up the off-width, and it was starting to get really icy, and at one point I looked down and I saw on a ledge that I passed there was a turd, and I was like, that's weird, like who's gonna go for a shit halfway up a climb? And so I thought, okay, I need to go back down to that ledge. And I played Pete up, and then I wished Pete good luck. I said, hey, there's a nice little off-width up there, and by the way, it's icy, so good luck.
So I started up the Crux off-width pitch and I wasn't expecting it to be quite as icy as it was.
I heard some grunting at the ice because I think it was very hard to protect.
The cams also weren't holding in the crack properly.
You just put the 6 into the icy crack and then you pull in it and it just slides out.
And the only way I could get them to stay in was put the stem of the cam perpendicular to the crack.
It was just like maybe half a centimetre at the edge of the crack that wasn't icy.
The whole crack was full of verglass and I was stacking and arm barring in the ice.
King pitch. That was really, really, really high quality pitch. That's a monster rock.
How was the ice?
Oh, my fingers.
Oh god.
Oh, the ice was interesting, man. Fucking hell.
The ice was hard. The gear was slipping as well.
I'm sure.
Oh Jesus.
Fucking hell, man. That's a nice lead. Almost warm.
What do you reckon in your Patagonia experience with the wind?
Yeah. I think we're pushing it if we keep going.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty epic up there with wind.
Yeah. But it's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be epic carrying on, yeah.
Getting down also.
Yeah. Good work with the bag on. Nicely done. Sean, down there we said there's potential to bail because it was so windy on the off-width. Now we're sheltered.
We decided to keep going.
The clouds are still going pretty quick.
Yeah. It's not very sensible, but
let's just smash it out, get it done, get down.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it.
But then the very last pitch, we were back in the wind and Pete did it and the ropes were going just flying away.
We're at the summit.
We're at the summit of Rafael Juarez.
It's windy.
And it's kind of windy. We're not going to fuck around.
Time to go down. Swiftly. Sean, there's an anchor there as well.
And then we rappelled down the east face that was protected from the wind. The scariest part in the mountain is the wind. There's days where you can't stand on your feet, you're like crawling, and the wind will lift you up. Like I weigh 75 kilo, almost 80 kilo. It's the kind of wind that's really scary and you don't want to be up in the mountains in that kind of wind.
Abseils are done. Steady away across the glacier.
Yeah.
Bob's the jobby's jobber.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I like it.
How are you feeling?
Pretty tired.
Yeah. Same.
I'm happy because we made it over the glacier.
Yeah.
Alive.
That's the.
Now, I mean, you can still kill yourself, but that's a lot harder.
That's the crux for rock climbers.
The glacier.
Climbing glaciers.
Yeah, especially with that gear. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. There was another climb that was put up by Argentinians, and there's 3 very strong climbers. I think at least 2 of them climb like 8C or above, and they put up a route which they called Anda para allá, they claimed that it was a king line and that it was very difficult. They weren't able to free it. And so, yeah, there was another small window, and the west face of Guichemin seemed to be a good option. But the conditions are questionable. So everything's looking really icy, and it's cold, temps are low. So we'll see what happens. We have a plan B, we have a plan C, all the way up to Z.
Heading up there, Guichemin, to the icy walls. How's your Scottish mix climbing?
Rusty.
Rusty. Yep. Hopefully we won't need it. Two options. We have the avalanche snowfield with sketchy slabs.
Death slabs.
The death slabs. Or we have the steep, rocky scramble with some abseils, which we haven't done before. Which one would you take?
The down climb.
We're taking the down climb, folks, and we're avoiding
The death slabs.
the death slabs. So we've walked in, and that has taken a bit longer than expected. We were meant to get here at 3 o'clock, and I think we got here at 7 or something. Yeah. So we have nettle curry by the Alpine chef Sean Villanueva O'Driscoll. That's you.
That's me.
That's you.
That's
Name
me.
is on the packet.
Yeah.
This is your recipe.
This is my recipe.
So let's try it. It's very good.
It's good, yeah?
It's very good.
There you go.
Nettily. Just tingling the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Tingling. For this one specifically, were they hand-picked nettles by you?
Yes.
Yeah. It feels pretty chilly tonight, so full clothing. And then tomorrow, we're heading up there, straight up that shield of rock. It looks like it's going to be hard. 2 pitches in the middle, which haven't been freed. One estimated to be 7B plus and one estimated to be 8A. Yeah, it's going to be hard.
People were telling us that the cracks would be all icy and full of snow, and that there was verglass on the wall.
Nothing like a good morning walk to wake you up. Well, we've already done half the first pitch, so that's promising, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And look how high we are.
Look how high we are already.
Pitch of rumbling and then into the meat of the day
Meet of the day.
to kick it off.
So we didn't know what to expect, but we thought, you know, there's only one way to find out, and that's to go take a look. Our plan was to be at the base for our very first light, and we climbed a couple of pitches, and really good climbing, quality climbing. From the ground, it looks like there's some blank sections, and it doesn't quite look like it all links up all the cracks, but then when you're climbing it links up quite good. There was 2 pitches that hadn't been freed by the lads. First one was it was a hard fight. I fought my way up some crimpers and then some crack, and then the crack stops, and then there's a blank slab, but it's very tricky. And then I got to this roof that was with stalactites. There was ice hanging off it. Anchor number 4, I think. Wet icy finger crack for Pete, just so he gets a good taste of Patagonia.
Love wet icy finger cracks.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're one of my favourites.
it's your day. And below us we have Julia Cassou, who's just coming with us for the Jumar. She's pissed.
I'm not jogging all the way up. For the photo, guys, you have to fall. Please.
Julia wants us to fall so we can fix the rope for her and then try and red point the pitch so she can take pictures. But so far we've just been on sighting everything.
Could be different on this one.
And so the next pitch, and it was wet, it was dripping, it was full of ice. So Pete climbed up with the ice axe on his harness, and chopping away while he's on sighting, like chopping away the ice and then putting his fingers in the crack and chopping out the ice. And yeah, he climbed really well, got to the roof, and he shouts down to me, "This part looks really hard."
So just over the roof it was a thin seam with tricky feet and really like subtle body positions, but I did manage to figure out all the moves individually, and then I climbed the remaining section to the anchor. Sean then went up, did exactly the same as me, figured out the moves, tested the beta.
And we had a little discussion and we said, yeah, it's a pity we don't have an extra day. He said, I feel like if I had one more day, there would be a chance of me standing up, but I don't think I can do it today. And I said the same. I said, yeah. Pete was like, all right, well, let's go to the top anyway, and I might as well give it a try. He climbed impeccably, a little miracle. He managed to climb to the anchor, and yeah, it's probably one of the hardest single pitches in the massif right now.
Adios.
Come on. Yes.
And then I seconded it, and I put up a really hard fight. You have to grab the seam and put your foot almost at your hands and pull up, and then work your way up the seam until it turns back into like bad finger locks. Gave it everything I could, and I even got past the crux and everything. Surprisingly got past the crux.
Good. Come on. Twist it in. Twist it in. Good. Good. Come on. Come on, you've got it.
I was in this thin seam and my foot slipped, and I tried really hard to hang on, and then my arms just gave up, and I fell. So I took one fall on the pitch.
Stay on, stay on.
No! My foot was. That was close.
That was very close.
That was a good try there.
That was a good try.
Fucking hell! That was incredible.
Yeah, I was psyched for that.
Fucking good lead, man.
Yeah, I was psyched. I was psyched for that.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, thanks.
Really well climbed, man. Fucking impeccable. That was fucking awesome.
I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to do it, but...
No, that was clean.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's move towards the summit. This one is absolutely a king line, and it's going to be one of the hard classics. Every pitch is high quality rock and amazing climbing. Thank you very much.
You'll be here all week.
It's an honor to have you here with me today, Pete, for my little morning routine. And so usually I come here every morning, I sit down, focus on my breathing for a while, and then I strip and get into the river. There's like an ollie, not like the ollie guy from Lattice. An ollie is something in the water. It's kayak language. Pete, you wouldn't understand. Should be nice. Should be a lovely swim. Refreshing. The ollie! Where's the ollie? Ollie! Where are you? A lot of water here today. It's pretty high. I think it was raining all day yesterday, so that probably explains why. So the current is good current. And yeah, it shouldn't be too cold, because when there's rainwater, then it's not as cold as usual. Afterwards, you never regret having gone for a swim. You never regret. Did you confirm the theory? You feel better than when you get...
Now I feel better. Oh, cold on the head.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was good.
Yeah, feels good.
See,
eh?
I'm happier now than when I went in, aren't I?
Yeah, there you go.
Can tell. It's confirmed.
There you go.
Confirmed.
I definitely want to say a final thanks to Sean for being a mega climbing partner. I've never climbed with anybody as good as Sean on that type of terrain. So Sean, it was an absolute pleasure. Thanks very much.